Hi everyone, good morning. Martha Ermias here, coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio. I am extremely sorry today, I'm a little bit late. I actually had a very funny beginning this Monday. For some reason I woke up early, like 3:30, and then I can go back to sleep until about 5 o'clock, and then I woke up late. So how are you guys doing? Good morning, Tolda. Good morning. Hi, Doitom. Good morning. Hey, Mulgeta. Sami, nice to see you guys here. And I was just saying, I'm sorry I came in late today. I actually woke up a little bit late. Just not the usual. Hi, Edu. Good morning. Good to see you here. Samson, good to see you. Moses, nice to see you guys here. Hey, with the Eritrea. I'm not sure what your name is. Good to see you here. All right. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you guys are having a great beginning, great Monday. It's the beginning of the week. Let's have a great attitude so that we can have a beautiful week. Hi, Jerry. How are you? Sometimes, Monday could be a very stressful day. A lot of times, actually, people who go to work, they're very stressed on Monday. That's actually what the statistic says. But we can always change that by our attitude. We could just, the attitude of gratitude. Just be thankful of what you have, and make sure that you're not stressed out about the week. But start the week with a great winning attitude, and it will become so. A lot of times we can really shape our week by the attitude that we have. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 negative traits of insecure leaders. So we're going to talk about insecure leaders and some of the negative traits that they have. Hopefully we can learn from that. And when I say leaders, a lot of times it could be managers too. I mean, it's a little bit different. Leadership and management is different, but managers should be leaders as well. So good morning, Aman. Hey, Rochelle, Asmar. It's good to see you guys here. So what are some of the things that we can learn from insecure leaders so that we can first of all make sure that we're not practicing those insecurities and becoming not growing in our leadership, and so that we can understand how to tackle them. So there's 5 different traits, and I got this from an article from success.com magazine, and it was really interesting to see how insecurity can really play a big role in our leadership, in our work, in our management, whatever that we're doing. If you're leading like a couple of people at your workplace, you're managing people, or if you're a business owner and you have a team, or you're a business owner and you have customers, your customers are really your bosses in business. So whichever way you go, leadership is very important, and developing to become the kind of leader that you want to become is something that really is going to serve you really well in life. So it's good to talk about these things. So the number one negative characteristics of an insecure leader is bullying. Okay. What do we mean by bullying? It could be inappropriately using harsh words towards employees or other people, or it could be harsh actions on employees, or it could be escalating an employee or somebody else's mistake in the public, shaming other people in the public. Like, for example, when someone makes a mistake and you're sending kind of an email that really points out that their mistake, and you're copying other people or other leaders to kind of let everybody know what they did, that could be categorized as workplace bullying. Okay, when you're trying to expose that person and their mistake in public, that's really bullying. And a lot of times managers or leaders who do that, they feel like they don't have, it's usually because they feel like they don't have control over their employees or the people that they're leading, or the situation. If they feel like they don't have control over, they try to show it by power, and they think that doing that is going to actually increase their dominance on the workplace. But it actually has a very negative effect because nobody, even the people that are watching, nobody really feels good about other people being shamed publicly. So it's going to create fear and insecurity. It will create like lower moral standards. And first of all, whenever you're leading by example. So most likely you're actually showing other people can do that as well, which is really going to be negative for the overall health of your team or your organization or your workplace. So bullying is not something that's good, and it comes from a place of insecurity that person doesn't feel like they have control over the people that they're leading or the situation. So that's number one negative trait that we can see that stems from insecurity on leaders. Number two, a know-it-all attitude. Okay, and this is if someone who is in leadership position or management position has all the answers, they have the attitude where they know it all. That's also another negative trait or negative characteristics that is stemming from insecurity. So basically, a lot of times that happens because people are trying to prove themselves, They're trying to show everybody that they know. Maybe they don't feel like other people respect them for their knowledge. And when they do that, they become the answer to everything. But part of a leader's work or a leader's responsibility is really to develop and to grow other people. You become successful by helping other people grow and develop as well. Now, but if you are the person who knows it all and you really are not empowering other people or even asking what they know, and you're really empowering them in that sense, then you're not going to help them grow or develop because they feel like they can't express themselves that way. And what happens is they really check out and they become very complacent. So if they're complacent, you're not developing other leaders as well. So, being insecure in that way and trying to be all and, be the person that knows it all kind of thing is also coming from insecurity. And as a leader, you're failing in developing other people as well. So that's the second trait of negative characteristics of an insecure leader. Number three, lack of response. Sometimes leaders or managers just don't respond to things. Maybe there's an email that came out and they don't answer, or there's something that was, somebody asked them something and they just don't do it. In many ways, maybe they are trying to hide that they don't know something, and that's the reason why they actually do not respond or communicate. So, it could be, especially when it comes to this happens, especially when there's a new set of skills that they don't have and other people have it. Maybe their employees or their leaders or their team have that skill and they don't have it. So instead of trying to learn it or being honest and asking questions, what they do is they try to brush it off or just not even respond, or let it go kind of thing, procrastinate and really not be engaged in it, and they hope that it will disappear and go away. So this also, it comes from a place of insecurity, and not being responsive is one reaction that you can see from leaders that are insecure and are not becoming the best leader that they can be. Hi Joni, good to see you all the way from England. Joni from Canada, good to see you guys. All right, the number four, a negative trait or negative characteristics of an insecure leader is also micromanaging. Oh, that's one thing that I really, really don't like, and I'm very, very sensitive to. Micromanaging comes from a leader that feels like they do it better than their employees. And micromanaging is really either not trusting your employees or your team or other people that you're working with, you don't think that they could do a great job, or you have this escalated ego that you just want to do everything yourself. So you don't trust your employees, you don't really trust your team, you don't trust other people and their skills to get it done. When that happens, you're really micromanaging what they do because you really don't trust them. However, what that creates again is people feel like they're they're useless. Basically, they don't feel empowered, and as leader, and they won't step up. And leadership is really when you can make progress by using other people's skills, not necessarily just by your skills. When you're able to, leadership means you are mobilizing people. You know, if you have to do it yourself, even at a leadership position, then you really are not a leader. You're just one person. Leadership involves other people, and your leadership ability is measured by your ability to make other people do things, and together you accomplish something. Then you are a leader. So micromanaging is also, it comes from a place of insecurity where you feel like other people cannot do it as good as you do, or it also translates from having that escalated ego where you just have to do it and you have to take the credit and things like that. And that's really not leadership. So that's the fourth thing that we can see from insecure leaders. So they're afraid of letting go. They're afraid of letting go of projects because they really don't trust. And actually great leaders allow their employees or a team to, they want other people to grow. So they allow them to make mistakes. And when a mistake happens as a leader, they actually take responsibility of what went wrong. But that's how they grow people. They develop them to become better. And eventually, as great leaders, they do less and less because their team or their employees are also stepping up to the leadership role and becoming better. And, you know, a lot can be accomplished with that model. Number 5 is avoidance. Avoidance, like they avoid things. And again, this is very much similar to being not responding, but avoiding things that they don't know. And this is fear of the unknown. If they feel like they are not competent in the areas where, you know, their leadership skill is needed, especially if, like, for example, technology changes and they haven't really learned it, or you know, anything like new set of skills are needed and they really haven't really developed that. So they try to avoid it and they try to procrastinate and they not take actions, or they avoid setting bold goals because they feel like they can't accomplish them. And you know, they're basically operating from a place of fear as opposed to really leading, and they're not they don't really allow their employees to step up because they're insecure about their position at that point. Okay, that's something that we can learn also from like where insecurities are really showing up in our leadership as well. Okay, so those 5 things we talked about: bullying, we talked about know-it-all attitude, lack of response, micromanaging, and avoidance. These are some of the things that we can see in leaders that we see that they're operating from a place of insecurity. And the bad part of it is not only are they acting from a place of insecurity and they can't make the best decision that's going to help the team, so really the progress is not going to be there, but it's also going to show, you know, so they're not going to be able to get the kind of respect that they should from their employees or from their team or from their customers, whoever they're trying to lead. They're not going to get the kind of respect. It's going to show as well. So the best thing to do for a leader is really become a better leader, basically, because we all have insecurities, okay? It's not just, you know, some people are insecure and some people are not. Insecurity is really something common to all of us. However, those insecurities can start to go away as we start to develop in our leadership. And how do we develop in our leadership? First of all, we have to come from a place of honesty. What we know, we know. What we don't know, we don't know. And it's totally okay. It's totally okay. That's actually more attractive than trying to act that you know it all. But as long as you're learning, as long as you're growing, as long as you are working towards your leadership development, it's okay to show. It's actually being humble and vulnerable and showing that you don't know some things is actually more, it makes you more human, and it makes you be appreciated by your team, and it creates even a better bond. But as a leader, I totally believe that you have to be engaged in your personal development and personal growth. You can't just not do that and expect to become a better leader next year. Actually, like, the less you grow, the less you're progressing, the less aware you are about your insecurities, and the less you are working towards overcoming those insecurities, the more you're going to act out of insecurities, the more fear you're going to have, the more in control you want to become. So basically, you are going to try to resolve the issues that are around you in leadership from the negative place as opposed to from positive place. So the one thing that every leader could do is really growing their leadership by engaging in personal development, read leadership books, understand what good leaders do, have good leadership examples, and follow try to understand how they think, how they operate, where they draw their securities from, how do they build their confidences, learning all of these things, and being okay with failing temporarily from time to time, but just evolving and growing in the process. And it's always a good thing to think about the person you are becoming, as opposed to the person that you are. I think we all have to be more worried about who we are becoming, who we are going to, who will end up becoming 5 years from now, 3 years from now. I think one of the things that scares me the most is becoming the same person that I am today 2 years from now. That scares me the most, because time is changing. I mean, time is going by, and how am I progressing during that time is really what really matters, okay? So if we can all think about the future and the person that we are becoming and engage in personal growth, most of the time the insecurities will be dissolved in that process. And what we are not good at as a leader today, we will be better as a leader maybe 6 months from now or a year from now. I mean, even in my own, as I was preparing this notes today for today's live session, I was looking at some of the points and I said, oh my goodness, yeah, I remember when I felt insecure about these things, and this is one of the things that I was doing. Like, for example, I think I really relied on my own ability, and I didn't delegate as much as I was growing in my leadership before. And it just took me back to that time when I felt that way, and I said, wow, I was the kind of person that wanted to do it that way. I didn't trust other people could do it as good as I was. But eventually you learn and you grow. So the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is, I don't know, I mean, you can tell me, I don't know if you're in leadership position or management position, or you have other people that you're leading. I think most of the time we are, in one way or another. Or even if we don't have anybody to lead, are we really practicing this this different leadership characteristics that are not really good? Are we preparing ourselves to become good leaders? And because I've shared this so that we can all look at how we are operating our life, our work life, and kind of like make an inventory of things and create awareness. I wanted to create awareness, so that to help you become aware and avoid the things that are not going to serve you to become a better leader in life, because your income and your progress in life and your ability to impact the world is all going to be associated with your growth in leadership. So leadership is really a good thing, and it's something that we all have to thrive to become better at. Okay, so that's about it for today, guys, and I appreciate you for being here. I want to say good morning to all of you guys, and today's the first day of the week. I will see you guys tomorrow again. Hi, Matthew, good to see you here. Wow, big leader out there, good to see you. So we are going to meet again tomorrow, same time at 9 a.m. Until then, I wish you guys to have a very happy Monday and make it a great day, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.